everyone, welcome to the first session of Introduction to Japanese Language. We are going to be doing 10 sessions of this Introduction to Japanese Language part, and the sessions are going to be approximately of 15 to 20 minutes. Of course, I'll be repeating everything. Like if I'm explaining something, I'll be repeating everything in Hindi as well. So I'll keep switching between Hindi and English so you have a better understanding of what the grammar point is और what exactly I'm trying to tell you. ठीक है, तो एक बार वापस बता देती हूँ कि हमारे 10 सेशंस होने वाले हैं. हर एक सेशन जो होगा वो 15 से 20 मिनट का होगा. दिस इज ऑफ कोर्स द वेरी फर्स्ट सेशन. तो मैं हर एक सेशन में ना आई कीप स्विचिंग बिटवीन द लैंग्वेजेस. तो मैं या तो हिंदी में बात करूंगी या तो इंग्लिश में बात करूंगी. सो इफ यू आर हियर फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, डू नॉट वरी. इफ यू आर लिसनिंग टू दिस सेशन फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, डोंट वरी, यू आर एट द परफेक्ट स्पॉट. दिस इज द फर्स्ट सेशन, द वेरी फर्स्ट सेशन ऑफ इंट्रोडक्शन टू जापानीज लैंग्वेज. बहुत ही आसान, 10 के 10 सेशंस है, बहुत ज्यादा आसान है, आपको टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. व्हाटएवर डाउट्स यू हैव, मीनवाइल अगर आप ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं और अगर आपको कुछ डाउट्स है, ऑफ कोर्स वी वोंट बी एबल टू कम्युनिकेट लाइव, but whatever doubts you have, do not worry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and solve them after every video. So if you have any doubts, make sure after the session you put them in the comment section below. ठीक है, नीचे दिए गए हुए comment section में आप आपके doubts mention कर सकते हो, आपके questions mention कर सकते हो. So let's begin. This is the first session, Introduction to Japanese. My name is Tejaswini. I will be telling you more about myself in a bit. But first, let's try to understand कि ये session में होने क्या वाला है. Okay, so what we are going to do is, this is the very beginning, right? तो इतने सारे levels है, 5 levels है Japanese language में, और हम यहाँ है एकदम छोटू सा मतलब एकदम माइन्यूट सा लेवल है ये. ऑफ कोर्स वी आर ट्राइंग टू योर बिल्ड योर इंटरेस्ट. वी ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आप लोगों को कितना पसंद आता है ये लैंग्वेज. वी ट्राइंग टू एनालाइज, वी ट्राइंग टू लर्न समथिंग न्यू. सो वी विल स्टार्ट विद द वेरी वेरी बेसिक पार्ट ऑफ दिस लैंग्वेज. ओके, एंड एज यू मूव अहेड, आई मेक श्योर दैट यू फॉल इन लव विद दिस लैंग्वेज. सो एज यू मूव अहेड, you will start learning about N5. So N5 is the first level. हाँ जी, जापानीज लोग थोड़ा सा उल्टा जाते हैं. तो N5, N4, N3, N2, N1 being the most difficult one. तो आप N5 से शुरू करेंगे इसके बाद, और उसके बाद आप जैसे जैसे एग्जाम्स देते जाओगे आप N1 तक पहुंचोगे. Okay, but right now, like I mentioned, we're here, we're just learning the introduction part. Okay, just a quick a couple of things that you need to remember when you're learning this language is that there is no substitute for memory, है ना. तो मतलब जब आप कोई नई लैंग्वेज सीख रहे हो, एनीथिंग न्यू दैट यू आर ट्राइंग टू लर्न, ट्राइंग टू ग्रास्प, यू ऑलवेज नो दैट यू हैव टू मेमोराइज. तो जैसे अगर इफ आई वांट टू टेक यू बैक, बचपन में हम लोग कैसे टेबल्स पढ़ते थे, है ना, मैथ्स के जो टेबल्स होते थे, we used to sit and we used to memorize. तो वो तो अलग ही चैप्टर है, मतलब मैथ्स और मेरा कभी बनता नहीं था ऐसे. But this language is specifically, you need to remember that for this language there is no substitute for memory and the vocabulary, right? So you have to memorize the vocabulary. That's the trick here. Okay, don't try to find logic here, just memorize, just sharpen your brains, make it active, and try to memorize as much as you can. Okay, like I said, I'm going to quickly introduce myself. My name is Tejaswini. I am from Pune, and I'm comfortable in Marathi and Hindi, and of course English. I've been talking to you in English for a while now. So अगर आपको कुछ सवाल है, if you want to understand or know anything, make sure that you mention them in the comment section below. Okay, I have been learning this language for quite some time now, almost I think 6 years now. तो मेरे 4 levels हो चुके हैं, and trust me, this is one of the best decisions of my life. It's a fun language, no doubt it's difficult. Of course, मैं आपको डराना नहीं चाहती यहाँ पे, but एक छोटा सा बोलते हैं ना कि because I've been through all the levels, I know the difficulty level rises. But like I said, the trick to this is to memorize and to make sure that you give this language some time every day. मतलब अगर रोज आप आधा 1 घंटा भी दे देते हो ना, तो trust me, it's one of the best languages, like the easiest one. Then of course, if you study every day. Okay, let's start with the main part. We're going to learn about Nihon. Okay, so Nihon and Nippon are the two words that you see here. यहाँ पे आप देख पा रहे हो Nihon और Nippon. ये जो लिखा गया है इधर, मेरा जो पॉइंटर है रेड कलर का, यहाँ पे जो घूम रहा है, तो वो है Nihon. ओके, ये वही शब्द है. इस शब्द को Nihon बोला जाता है या फिर Nippon बोला जाता है, और इस दोनों का मतलब है जापान. ओके, सो Nihon or Nippon means Japan, and the language that we are learning is Nihongo. Okay, that means Japanese language. तो अगर कोई और language हो, for example हिंदी हो, तो अगर मैं बोलूं हिंदी go, that means हिंदी language, है ना? तो go का मतलब language है, तो Nihongo is Japanese language. वैसे ही यहाँ पे नीचे आप एक सेंटेंस पढ़ पा रहे हो, you can read this sentence, right? That's called Nihon e yokoso. Okay, Nihon e yokoso, which means welcome to Japan. Nihon का अर्थ आपको पता है, you already know the meaning of Nihon. It means Japan, and yokoso means welcome. So this whole sentence, the entire sentence means Nihon e yokoso is welcome to Japan. The next that you see on your screen is the world map. Okay, you see the world map here. Okay, and there is Japan, the tiny little part that you see. Okay, but let's first learn what is the word for world. Okay, so the word is Sekai. Okay, Sekai means world. Okay, Sekai means world. This you see is the world map. So Sekai is world. We zoom in a little. Okay, we zoom in a little. As you all know, Japan lies in Asia Tairiku. That means Asia continent. So Asia is Asia, and Tairiku, that you see, Tairiku is continent. Okay, so Asia, this is the first word, Asia, and Tairiku, continent. Okay, now we zoom in further, and this might probably disappear from your screen. I'm not sure if you can see this, but I'm going to tell you verbally. The word that's written here is Shimaguni. Okay, please write it down somewhere. If you're here for the first time, pause the video and write this down somewhere. Shimaguni. It means island country. Okay, it means island country. Why is it called an island country? ऐसे क्यों बुलाते हैं जापान को? It's because जापान के चारों तरफ पानी ही पानी है. There's water bodies on all sides of this country, right? And when a particular island is surrounded by water bodies on all sides, it's called island country, right? So that's why it's called island country. Shimaguni. Okay, the topmost what do you say, the topmost place that you see here is Hokkaido. It's very very cold. तो जैसे इंडिया में होता है ना Hokkaido की तरह, हमारे इधर क्या है? Kashmir, correct. So Jammu Kashmir, it's super duper cold, and towards the south here is Kyushu. It's pretty warm that way. Okay. The next part is Shuto, that is the capital city. The word is Shuto for capital city. Okay. Chalo, batao, fatak se, without me answering, what is the capital of Japan? I'm giving you 2 seconds. That's right, Tokyo. Okay, so Tokyo is the capital. Okay, so this is Tokyo. You see my pointer here, right? It's called Shuto, capital city. Now the next few slides. Okay, the next few slides are just like for your information, है ना? तो इसमें कुछ सीखने लायक नहीं है, but ये आपकी information के लिए है. So if you want, you can please take screenshots of them and keep this for your knowledge. Okay. So like I said, Japan is full of culture. Japan is full of some major headquarters, companies, businesses, right? So some major cities को क्या बोलते हैं जापान में, Japanese में? Tokai. So Tokai is major cities. Okay, Tokai. Which are the major cities? Nagoya ho gaya, Osaka hai, there's Kobe, there's Tokyo, Nara. All of these are the major cities in Japan. I'll give you an example. Here it's mentioned Nagoya mein hai Toyota factory. So as we all know, Toyota, the brand, we all know, cars hum sab use karte hain, we know all the cars. So the Toyota, the main factory, the main headquarter is located in Japan, in Nagoya. That's why Nagoya is one of the major cities, that is Tokai. Again, just for your information, कि around 125.5 million का population है जापान में. Of course, if the number is not accurate, it keeps growing. ऐसा नहीं है कि यही number चलता रहता है. Every day there is a newborn baby. Every day, you know, something happens. So 125.5 million की approximately यहाँ पे population है. But you know, Japan is called as an aging country, like an aging population. Why? Like you all know, India is a young country, है ना? That is because the average age group of people living in India is somewhere between 25 to 45, right? And whereas Japan the age group is about 40, 45. So that's why it's called the aging population. Also, again, this is for your information. The Japanese food, I'm not sure if all of you have tried, but I would definitely suggest you should. You must try Japanese food at least once in your life. Okay. And probably, let me warn you, you will not like the taste for the first time. शायद आपको नहीं पसंद आएगा, शायद आपको लगेगा कि अरे नहीं ये क्या खा लिया, because all us Indians are used to eating spices, right? We're used to eating the masalas and the chutneys and all of that. And whereas Japanese food is very, very mild, subtle, bland. But once you get used to the taste, oh my God, sushi and tempura and ramen, trust me, it's one of the best food that you'll ever taste. So make sure that you visit an authentic Japanese restaurant, है ना? तो ऐसे ऐसे नहीं करना है कि अरे हाँ आते जाते रास्ते पे साइड वाले ढाबे पे खा लिया चाइनीज है ऐसे कुछ और बोल दिया हाँ जापानीज हो गया तो ऐसे नहीं करना है एक authentic Japanese restaurant ढूंढिए and please make sure that you try sushi tempura or ramen or there's omurice and so many other things. There's Japanese cheesecake, you have to try it, है ना? और मुझे नीचे कमेंट्स में जरूर बताना if you've tried it and what did you like the most. And don't worry, vegetarian options भी होते हैं, of course उतना मजा नहीं आता है, but if you're a vegetarian, don't worry about it, you also get all these options in vegetarian. Okay. Again, a couple of brands that you may or may not be aware of, that all these brands are Japanese brands. So there's Toyota, there's Hitachi, Nikon, Sony, Toshiba, all these brands. We literally use the products, the cars, everything in our day-to-day life, and we still probably didn't knew कि अरे ये तो Japanese brand है, ये तो मतलब पता ही नहीं था. So yeah, all these brands are Japanese brands. Okay, we get to the main part of today's session, which is 3 things you need to remember. Script. Script needs memory and logic. Okay, so for any script, basically, I don't know if you all know yet, but let me tell you, let me break the ice here that Japanese language does not use, they don't use the English script, Japanese people. Okay, so they use their own scripts. There are 3 major scripts. Of course, we'll get to that. So for now, just remember that the script requires memory and logic. There's vocabulary. Vocabulary में तो memory है, मैंने आपको बोला है. You need to have, like, you need to build your memory. You need to rack your brains and you need to memorize stuff, right? It's tricky, but it's all memory game. Okay. And the grammar is, of course, the complex part, but you have me, so don't worry about it. So like I said, there are 3 scripts in this language. There is hiragana, there is katakana, and there is kanji. Okay, chalo top se shuru karte hain. Scripts ko kya bolte hain Japanese mein? What is the word for scripts? The word is moji. Okay, moji. So moji, that is, it means scripts. Okay, so now there are 3 mojis. Okay, 3 mojis are hiragana, okay, katakana and kanji. Now which script is used when? Okay, so hiragana, let's start with hiragana. Hiragana is used when you are talking or when you're using the words that are formed in Japanese language or which are originally from Japan. Okay, I'm going to repeat myself. Hiragana tab use karte hain jab aap baat karte waqt ya likhte waqt Japan mein originate hue gaye words का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. Okay, you will get a clearer understanding of this as I explain katakana to you. So let's get there first. In case if you have any doubts, like I've mentioned, अगर आपको नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो make sure that you put it in the comment section below और अगले सेशन में आपको मैं ये वापस समझाऊंगी. काताकाना स्क्रिप्ट जो है, काताकाना स्क्रिप्ट is used to write and specifically write when you're using a foreign language word. Okay. So now when you're speaking this language, there are a lot of times when you need to adapt or when you need to use a word from some other language, mainly English. To give you an example, let's take a very basic example, chocolate. Okay, chocolate is an English word. हम सबको chocolate ये word पता है. But chocolate is also used in Japanese language. तो अब जब हम ये Japanese language में use करते हैं, we don't say chocolate. Instead, we say chocoretto. Okay, the word remains the same. It's just we have to write this. While writing this, we have to make sure that it's written in katakana. Okay, that's where everything comes in picture. If you're writing an English word, you have to write it in katakana. But अगर जो शब्द आप लिख रहे, the origin is in Japan, है ना? Japanese language में ही उनका origin हुआ है, तो you have to write in hiragana. Now comes the third script, that is the kanji. Filhal, for this session, just try to understand the third script. Basically, ज्यादा डीप में नहीं जाएंगे because there is a completely like a new session, like another session dedicated to this particular script. It's a very important script and I think one of the biggest scripts in our history in this world. Okay, so is of course इसका origin कांजी का हुआ है चाइना में. It's a mixture. तो चाइना में origin है, symbolism है, इसमें बहुत सारा symbolism है. Basically when I say symbolism, what do I mean is there is a word, correct, and depicting to that word is your kanji, is your character. Basically the character that you write है ना, जो ABCD हम इंग्लिश में लिखते हैं वैसे ही kanjis लिखते हैं. तो जो kanjis हम लिखते हैं, the character that we write is somewhere depicted from the word itself. तो सिंबलिज्म उसको कहते हैं, पिक्टोरियल डिपिक्शन उसको कहते हैं कि जैसे वर्ड है वैसा ही कांजी दिखता है ना. माउंटेन बोलूंगी तो माउंटेन की तरह दिखेगा, इफ आई से रिवर, रिवर की तरह दिखेगा. So basically a pictorial depiction. But like I said, for now, just for this session or until like I tell you to dwell on this, till I tell you to absorb this further, I would want you to not think about the last part, the kanji part. First, let's focus on hiragana and katakana. Okay. So in the first couple of slides, you must have seen yokoso. Now, if you remember, chalo, kisko yaad hai batao fadak se in 2 seconds. Tell me what does yokoso mean. Okay, I'm sure most of you all have got it right. It means welcome. Okay, welcome to Japan ka yokoso hai, Nihon e yokoso. That was written in hiragana. Now, if you have taken a screenshot, very well done. Sorry, very well done. And if you haven't taken a screenshot, thoda sa rewind kijiye, वापस एक बार ये video देख लीजिए. Okay. And then there is Asia Tairiku, if you remember. Tairiku continent, the word is originated in Japan. इसलिए वो लिखा गया था hiragana में. But Asia, that is Asia, correct? The Asia, the word is English, correct? So it's written in katakana. Okay. Of course, abhi filal, don't get overwhelmed. Don't feel scared. Don't feel कि अरे ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा information हो रहा है, नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. Do not worry about this. We will get to this part eventually. जब आप आगे के sessions करोगे, when you start with the second, third, fourth session, you will get a hang of it, है ना? तो फिलहाल, don't worry. Do not stress about this. Let's concentrate on the scripts. Okay. Welcome your first script. This is the hiragana script. Okay, try to absorb it, try to understand. So jaise now you see this is a e u a o, the vowels, correct? A e u a o. तो a b c d नहीं होता है यहाँ पे a e u a o are the top 5 characters that you see. उसके नीचे you will hear all the sounds, you will read all the sounds. Okay, so ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, sa, shi, su, se, so, and so on. Okay, so ta, chi, su, se, to, and so on further. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this and you can, or either you can pause the video and write it down. But I think writing se zyada aajkal screenshot digital ka zamana hai, to screenshot le lo. The next script is the katakana script. Okay, I'll give you a minute to digest both the scripts. This is a e u a o again, and then further on. So kaki ku ke ko. There is of course a slight difference between both the scripts. If you notice, katakana is more like straight lines, है ना? थोड़ा straight lines यहाँ पे ज़्यादा है. Whereas I'll go back थोड़ा सा. hiragana में अगर आप देखते हो तो curviness ज़्यादा है, flowy script है, थोड़ा सा curves ज़्यादा है. Okay? तो katakana ऐसा दिखता है, hiragana ऐसे दिखता है. Okay, go through the scripts, take it all in. But that's not it, guys. This is not it. Okay, ये तो हो गया basic. अब आपको यहाँ पे दिखेगा that there is a little addition to both the scripts. तो ये additional sounds बोलते हैं उसको. Now here, if you see the basic hiragana syllable, I just showed you this part. And the basic katakana syllable, I showed you this part, correct? Now, these are your additional sounds. Okay, of course we need, इतने में तो क्या ही होगा ना अपना, तो additional sounds तो लगेंगे. तो आप दोनों तरफ देखो additional sounds कैसे form करते हैं, क्या करते हैं. Try to understand this further. And of course, again I'm repeating, if you have any doubts, put them in the comment section below and I will be more than happy to answer. जितने doubts उतना मैं समझूंगी कि अरे वाह आपने बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ाई की है. Okay, I will quickly explain this to you though. ये देख रहे हो आप, so this you see ka, correct? If you see, look at my pointer, this is ka and this is ka again, but the sound here is ga. And why is that? Is because you see these two small lines that are added to the character ka. Okay, those lines are called ten. Okay, the lines are called 10-10. When you add a 10-10 to any character, okay, any basic character, when you add a 10-10, the sound changes. Please note, अगर कोई भी basic character को आप 10-10 add करते हो, except the vowels, the sound changes. So का की कु के को अगर आप 10-10 add करोगे, the sound becomes ga, gi, gu, ge, and go, and so on, so forth. Okay, here is the entire list. I'm going to give you a second to take a screenshot of this. Please इसका screenshot ले लीजिए, अच्छे से पढ़ लीजिए. There is no rush, no hurry कि एक दिन में ही आना है, एक दिन में ही आपको सब समझना चाहिए. Not at all. But make sure you keep looking at these characters, you keep practicing, you keep writing, and trust me, you will master them in no time. Okay, now for today's last slide, okay, for today's last part of this session, what we're going to do is we are going to write our names in Japanese. जी हाँ, पहले सबसे पहले हम लोग अपना नाम लिखना चाहेंगे, correct, in any language. जैसे normally हम बात करते हैं, the first thing, if you're talking to anyone, the first thing that comes to your mind is, hey, what's your name, correct? तो हम लोग वही लिखने की कोशिश करेंगे. Like I mentioned, my name is Tejaswini. So when I am writing my name in Japan, now you need to remember two things. एक तो जापानीज लैंग्वेज में ना जॉइंट वर्ड्स नहीं रहते. मतलब जैसे तेजस्वी है तो स्वी होता है. स्वी हम लोग जैसे लिखते हैं कि स को आधा करके वी के साथ जोड़ते हैं एंड वी राइट इट लाइक दिस, राइट, स्वीनी. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली जापानीज में देयर इज नो स्वी और देयर इज नो जॉइंट अल्फाबेट्स. ओके, नो जॉइंट कैरेक्टर्स. तो वो एक बात होगी. यू हैव टू सेपरेट द कैरेक्टर्स. ओके, एंड द सेकंड थिंग इज देयर इज नो ल साउंड इन जापानीज. ओके, तो ल ल साउंड नहीं होता है. तो if your name has a ल साउंड in it, replace it with र. ओके, तो ला ली लू ले लो कुछ भी होगा आपके नाम में, तो replace it with र, रा री रू रे रो, and so on. Okay, so just to give you an example, मेरा नाम कैसे लिखा जाएगा? My name will be written as, please look at my pointer here, the red pointer, te. Okay, we are in katakana script because it's a foreign language, right? हमारा नाम Indian है, it's a foreign language. So te. Then I go to ja. Let's find ja. Here is ja. Teja. Okay. Now I know Teja sounds funny. I'm going for the Teja. Then Sue. Okay, here is Sue. Then we go to E. Where is E? Here on top, E. Correct. And then the last part is ni. Here. So te, cha, s, e, ni is how I write my name in Japanese. Okay. So this was the last part for today's session. Make sure that you write your names. Okay. If you can, take a picture of it and make sure that you post them on your Instagram, or you can also write your name. Okay, मतलब आपके लैपटॉप पे या फोन पे कीपैड डाउनलोड कर जो होता है ना कीबोर्ड, जापानीज कीबोर्ड होता है, वो डाउनलोड कर दीजिए. राइट योर नेम्स और नीचे कमेंट सेक्शन में आप लिख सकते हो. ठीक है, अगर आप इंस्टाग्राम पे पोस्ट कर रहे हो तो मेक श्योर यू टैग द जापानीज लैंग्वेज प्रोफेशनल्स का लिंक. इफ नॉट, इफ यू आर राइटिंग इट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन, make sure that you download the keyboard for Japanese language and then you write your names and post it in the comment section. Of course, I'm going to be replying to each one of you, and I'll be correcting you if you go wrong anywhere. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the first session. It was the basic session. We learned 2 new scripts and we learned a lot of information. We got to know about a lot of things about Japan. Next session में हम लोग सीखेंगे the basic sentence pattern. Okay, so how do you form a sentence in Japanese language? कैसे form करेंगे आप ये sentence? हम सीखेंगे next class में. For now, I'm going to take your leave. I hope you enjoyed this. कुछ अगर आपका feedback है comments है, make sure that you put them in the comments below. Ciao, bye bye. I hope you had a great time.